Hey everybody, welcome to a breaking news edition of Squad Pod Sports. 2 in 1 week. Like we bringing you back to back almost.
A lot of big news.
And we do have big news, and that's why we have Alex on here. He's a huge Brooklyn Nets fan. You know Alex from Tap That Reviews and of course from the other Squad Pod. And man, James Harden was traded to the Brooklyn Nets from the Rockets, and I mean there was a lot of stuff that is included in this deal. We'll get into that, but I want your initial reaction, Alex.
Sadness. I hate to be the fan that's like bitching about having, 3 fucking absolutely incredible players on your team, but
yeah,
I love the build of a team, and Karis LeVert and Jared Allen have been like my cornerstone for so. I'm wearing my Karis LeVert jersey one more time. He still lives in Brooklyn, so he's still here. And then I gotta hang it up until he retires. When he retires, I can wear it again, unless he comes back to Brooklyn. But like, it's a little sadness. I understand the move, but it's a little sadness. It's a little sadness on my part.
I mean, it was such a huge this was a bigger deal than I expected. The Nets got James Harden, of course. Nothing else. Really.
Nothing else.
That's literally it.
The Rockets.
The Rockets made out like bandits in this trade.
Yeah.
Bro.
They got 3 Brooklyn first rounders, 1 Milwaukee first, and 4 Brooklyn first round swaps. Plus, Victor Oladipo was involved with the trade.
But they got rid of LeVert, right?
Yeah, they got rid of LeVert. He went to the Pacers, and a second round went to the Pacers. And the Cavs got Jared Allen and Taurean Prince. I think that's how you Taurean Prince. Yeah. But yeah, Exum, Kurucs.
The
Rockets.
That's Air Latvia.
So, I mean, there was a lot involved in this trade, but I mean, James Harden got what he wanted in the end, and that's all that mattered. That's the reason this popped off, Nobody really thought it was going to be like the same day that
it was
last night. It was the story about he like went on his little interview saying it's like nothing, like this team is not good enough to compete. They asked him about like if they could beat the Lakers, I guess, and he's like, no, we can't compete with any of those types of teams. Like,
what are you
it's
talking about?
Yeah, I saw that. I thought he was more. I mean, he was talking about that, but he was definitely talking about just the relationship with that team in general. He's just like, I don't think he wanted to fix it. He was just like, I'm good. I'm done.
He's like so deep in it now too. Like he's like, you know what? It's time for a change.
Yeah, and I mean, even Boogie came out, had like, where he was like, this was happening long before the interview. Like, this isn't anything that just came up out of the blue.
Yeah, it's been happening since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, so I mean, Harden must be just like, there was those reports about him like wanting to fight people during like practice and stuff, and it's like this dude is just like trying to get himself traded. Doing anything.
Like AB, but not quite as crazy as AB when he was trying to get out of Oakland.
I feel bad for like John Wall, who went there. He's like, man, I'm gonna be balling with James Harden. This is gonna be nice. And then like all this shit happens.
Now he's got Oladipo and a hurt Boogie. Is it Boogie still out there at Houston?
Yeah,
he ain't hurt.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't think he was hurt. He's been getting ejected.
He's been getting ejected.
He's been getting ejected from the game.
You try to convince me this man's not hurt in some way, form, or fashion. I know he's on the court, but let's be real. Let's be real.
That I don't know.
About the fist fight with Marcus Morris the other night. Like him and Marcus came at it, man. I was like, oh, they gonna get into it. Those two are bruised.
So glad NBA is back, man. I'm telling you. We got to wear our Kobe jerseys yesterday. I've got my bra brought on today. Like you were saying, you got LeVert. Hockey too?
Yeah. First game of hockey was today. Kicked off the season, and the Flyers stomped the Penguins today, 6-3.
And other news.
Also sad.
But to get back on track, I wanted to ask you your opinion on Kyrie Irving, who has missed the past couple games and is potentially missing more going forward. And with James Harden coming to the team, maybe that'll maybe give Kyrie incentive to come back and play. Maybe I want to know your thoughts on the Kyrie Irving situation.
Do you want to hear my real thoughts or my conspiracy? You want to put your conspiracy?
I want to hear both now that you mentioned
real thoughts first.
Yeah, real thoughts first.
My real thoughts, he'll be back. I mean, it's a matter of time. He'll be back. It's unfortunate. I agree with. I don't know if you saw Kendrick Perkins kind of called him out and was just like, if you're going to do this stuff, Kendrick Perkins basically said, "Man, if you want to fight for social injustice and be this person, that's fine, but you have a job to do right now. You're a millionaire. Kyrie Irving's got millions of dollars. If you want to do this full time, retire, go do it full time,
That's what
and that's
Stephen
fine.
A. Smith was saying. Yeah,
That's fine with me too. If that's what you want to do with your life and that's what's important to you, that's perfectly okay with me. I think it's something that needs to be fought, and we need backers like Kyrie Irving to fight these things. People that have these millions and have this face time for it.
yeah.
So if he wants to do that, I'm perfectly okay with it. It's kind of unfortunate, but I'm okay with it. But as of now, if you're going to be an NBA player making $30 million from the Nets, show up to work and go play basketball.
Yeah.
I saw. Was it true that he was in a Zoom call for like a government seat?
Yeah. Well,
What? I didn't see that.
He wasn't in it for that. He's supporting the new DA of New York. He's like a backer of him. So he was.
When I heard it, it said I'm pretty sure they said that he was in the Zoom meeting as the candidate for DA, and I was like, I didn't do any follow up on it though. So like, but they said it was like right after the game or something like that. He was in. He attended that via Zoom, and I was like, what?
It was like right before it. Yeah, he was like when he should have been with us. He was doing his thing. He's making decisions for team chemistry at the moment, but Durant's holding it together. They just thwomped on the Knicks, so it's working. Now put your conspiracy hats on with me for a second, all right? I'm going off kind of left here. Put your tinfoil hats on with me, okay? So beginning of season, James Harden wants out of the thing. Brooklyn obviously was a choosing point. And I remember the Rockets said, we're not doing this deal unless Durant or Kyrie Irving are a part of that deal.
Yeah.
A couple months go down the line, I feel like in my conspiracy head, Kevin Durant and Kyrie got together and said, listen, man, nobody wants you when you're crazy. Why don't you go off the rockers for a little bit? We'll propose the trade again for James Harden. He'll say he wants out again. He'll make a big fuss about it. And then they won't want you. And then we'll offer you, and they'll be like,
oh, Kyrie's not playing. Like, he's been off doing whatever. He's been, like, getting investigated for being at the parties. Like, nobody
they were
wants that right now.
Touch Kyrie Irving right now. Like, nobody wants a part of that, which I get.
Oh, ruse.
But he comes back, and he's just like, oh, now it's the big three. We got it, We got everybody.
Like, oh, by the way, I'm healthy.
I'm back. Like I took my week suspension for not wearing my mask. Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
They're talking about shutting the NBA down for 2 weeks. Let's be real. You hear about that, Ruber?
Yeah, that's been going for the past hour or two. Because they did postpone some more games as of today going forward. COVID positive tests just keep popping up now.
Yeah.
Around different teams. It was like Washington, I guess, had some. See
what happens, man. But that's pretty much what we wanted to cover there. You guys got anything extra you wanted to add on top of that?
I just want to know your guys' personal thoughts. Like, what do you think do you think James Harden helps us or hurts us?
I don't know. It's such a radical move. It's like, and you don't know. And to me, James Harden wasn't a player that was going to get it done in the playoffs anyway before. So it's like, yeah, you got a Peyton Manning, you got a great regular season player. KD's the one, Kyrie's the one that's going to get you through the playoffs. But if James Harden can be a 3 on that team, it's going to be great, and I'll see you in a championship. But other than that, see me in the championship. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say about James. It's like, this is me. I'm not worried about James Harden. Get out of here. We'll see what happens.
Why?
I mean, I think if they play to their roles, I think you guys could be like super dominant, man. I think you guys would be, but like those guys are just like so like dominant of players, like when individually to mash them all onto a team. I feel like it's going to maybe take a minute. Like I feel like you guys are going to be able to put up points. There's no question, but it's going to take a minute for the chemistry to work out between all three of them and the rest of the team. Because like what you said before is like, one of them has to be on the court at all times, pretty much.
Oh yeah, they got to stagger those minutes.
Yeah,
which would be nice.
Which would be nice.
Really nice.
That will be nice.
You got a superstar.
So I mean, if you guys are able to do that, I think it'll be a really nice team, man. I'll pull it for you because I'd rather the Nets win the chip than the Lakers win a chip. I'll be rooting for you guys.
Let's go.
So
yeah, I mean,
the finals.
I'll stay on the positive note. I mean, I think it's a move that needed done if we wanted to stay relevant. It's like if you look back to last year when Lakers moved all that shit for AD. Like people were just like, "Holy shit! You traded your whole team. You want a chip? Everybody forgets about it. You know, like you got your championship with him. Who fucking cares at this point?
And then
you don't
got him to a max deal.
But you don't have to listen. AD and LeBron don't have to win anymore, and you got your trade worth out of it. You got your championship. That's all you got. You need one. You know, there's either win or there's lose. That's it.
You're just gonna be like outscoring people, like different teams, by crazy numbers. Probably you'll be like the Warriors at your best, like the peak Warriors. You could be like that's what you guys could be at your best.
The defense, I know Kyrie's nice on D, but the defense is going to be top notch on that squad.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna have to outscore these teams pretty much.
The crazy got Mike D'Antoni on that staff too.
I know he came back to Mike D'Antoni. Like maybe he liked Mike D'Antoni. Listen,
he's gonna get there and be like, "Wait a minute, Mike D'Antoni's here."
Wait,
the Nets were already
the
third highest scoring team in the league without James Harden. You know, James Harden has won 3 scoring titles in a row. I just saw a stat that between Kevin Durant and James Harden, they've won 7 out of 11 scoring titles. Last 11 scoring titles has been them. Just
we
them.
We all know James Harden can get them triple doubles, so he's gonna be kicking out assists, getting rebounds and shit. So.
Next, we trade Joe Harris and Kyrie Irving, and they bring in Russell and Bradley Beal from the Wizards. And it's the Oklahoma
OKC reunion.
Right back together with Bradley Beal on the wing. I'm just kidding.
That'd be crazy if they did that like next year. And like all these years later, like they end up meeting up on the same team.
No, man. I really like Joe Harris. Out of the trade, LeVert I get. And James Harden, even though LeVert's a future player who I think is going to be amazing, he just put up like 43 points the other night. James Harden is on another pedestal than most players. Like, I get that. Jared Allen's going to be the piece that I don't know if we have the depth to replace. DeAndre Jordan's a great player. After that, I mean, and he's older. He's 32, 33 years old. Like, who's going to play center? Like, we don't have any other centers. That's it. Like, it's DeAndre Jordan. So I'm hoping maybe
figure it out.
Yeah, we'll pick somebody up off the fucking,
Yeah.
We'll grab fucking somebody.
On the other, before we head off here, on the other hand, I think the Rockets make out on this deal too. I think the Rockets look really good on paper, at least. I know that like John Wall's, he's been playing decent. It's his first year back from he was off pretty much past 2. But they got Victor Oladipo now, and they got some weapons. So I mean, maybe they'll be able to
the ego out of the locker room.
Yeah, they got all
and
this
they got
like
a ton of picks to build on. So
I can see them becoming like a nice team, like playing team basketball.
It's going to be them and the Pelicans in like 3 years. It's them and the Pelicans because the Pelicans made out like you guys.
Maybe.
Well, I think the Hornets are more like faster coming up when Melo's there.
And the Suns, man. If they can keep Devin Booker. But we're getting off track.
I think the Thunder, the Thunder, the Pelicans, and now the Rockets are like the 3 teams that in like 3 years, because they have so much stock. Like,
it depends on what they do with it, though.
Sure. And that was a great comment I read because people were like arguing like, oh, you wasted 4 picks. And one of the best comments I read about James Harden was like, bird in the hand, man. Those picks, all 7 of them might never become the player that James Harden is right now. Like, we're not arguing that James Harden is one of the best players in the NBA.
And at its worst,
probably not.
You've already been through this shit with the whole Paul Pierce thing. So
this is better.
You've already seen what it can be at its worst.
This is better than that.
So don't even worry about the worst.
I feel
this is better,
Pierce,
but it's the same.
And Kevin Garnett coming out of their prime.
Circumstances.
I feel like 2 of these players, Kyrie Irving and James Harden, are in their prime right now. Like, they're fine if he plays. Kevin Durant's in his prime, but he's coming back from Achilles. Let's see. Right now, he's playing great.
Right.
Ain't no arguments. But Kevin Durant's in his prime too. Like Wyatt said, if this clicks, it's gonna be amazing to watch. This is gonna be the basketball entertainment like you've never seen. Like,
that would be such a great finals, especially with the way the Lakers are built. Like,
I can see LeBron already like hands on his knees, like.
I just don't know who would cover. Who's gonna cover AD? Like I don't know who's gonna cover him. I don't want to match up with the Lakers. I don't know who's gonna cover AD.
Could just keep throwing AD oops. He's gonna have 50 points a game.
Put DeAndre Jordan on AD. That's what
we're gonna have to. That slow ass, old ass DeAndre Jordan. Listen, I ain't hating on DeAndre either. He's the statistical best shooter ever of all time in the NBA. You know that?
You know that? He just dunks and lays up.
He's got like an 84% fucking field goal percentage. He's just like doom, doom. Anyways,
that's
we'll
pretty
see.
much the breaking news. James Harden. Hopefully it works out for you, man. I'm pulling for them Nets because I know you're gonna be one of those teams that's has the chance of going to the finals.
2 to 3 years.
Expectations.
High expectations.
Got to get it together.
Definitely
now.
put a lot. You put all those picks in. You got to make it worth it now. So
got to get it together right now.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
So yeah,
James Harden running away. Run to the east.
James.
Run away.
We'll take him. They make great pizza in fucking New York.
Oh
James.
yeah, he's gonna love the pizza and the strip
LeBron
clubs.
Goes to the west, where they say he can't win, and they all go to the east. It doesn't make any sense. It is what it is.
They're coming to us. I'm better. It's better than him going to the 76ers. I did not want to see him.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Him and as sick as this is gonna. I'm sorry. As sick as this is gonna be, him and Joel Embiid. I don't even want to see that together. Like, oh my lord.
Like you were saying, James Harden's no chump when it comes to assist either. Like he's average 10 a game. Like
Dude, you put even if Embiid could take a backseat role and just gather rebounds, which he's quite capable of. I mean, he's a great scorer too, but James Harden would just go down, shoot the three. If he misses, he misses, and Joel Embiid will scoop it up. If he makes it, oh well, 3 points, move on. Exactly.
Take it back out. That's what I'm thinking too.
Or score it. Or just score it because you're the best. Joel Embiid is the best center in the league. I mean, leaps and bounds. He put up 45 points the other game or something. The dude's amazing, and I hate the 76ers. Oh my. Fuck that team.
Yeah,
all right,
we have to have you on the podcast here again soon, Alex.
I'll maybe go on that episode and we can do a full rundown of it. I got more to say, but I want to do. This is quick. I get it.
Until then, like and subscribe. Check us out on Twitter at Squad Pod Sports. And check out Squad Pod every Friday. And we'll see you next week.
Peace.